So welcome back, everyone. I got another newbie with me, but they're not nervous. They can't be nervous with what they do, I'll tell you right now. I have with me Glenn Harper. He's the Director of Operations, and Brooke Evans is the CFO of AffinityBIO Solutions. Welcome to the show. You got to tell everybody a little bit about yourselves and what you do. Go ahead, get up on those mics so everybody can hear you.
Go for it.
Yeah, hi, I'm Glenn. I'm the Director of Operations at AffinityBIO Solutions. So we do hoarding remediation, we do trauma scene cleanup, odor removal. We sometimes work with unattended deaths and do some bacterial and virucidal disinfection work as well.
This is the kind of thing that people need to listen up and write down the number. Because, first of all, there's several things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Now, hoarding. Hoarding is something that maybe you knew it, maybe you do it. You got to call somebody to help you out, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's someone that you know. Usually it's someone that you know, a loved one, or someone that you know that might be doing that stuff, and you want to help out. You guys are the people to call, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. A
Okay.
lot of times we'll come into the homes and people may not have thrown things away for several years, and they just have pathways throughout the home. It's really a difficult situation for them and their families.
Now, this is like cleanup after, it could be a crime scene, it could be, like you said, hoarding. Mention another one again.
So some of the other ones are odor remediation.
So odor remediation, I mean, you would think that they could call just to get up on the mic, he's saying.
Okay.
So, like, when you talk about odor, why would someone want to call you, let's say, as opposed to getting their carpets cleaned or whatever? How are we talking about? What kind of odor here?
Well,
or just any odor?
it could be pet odor.
So it doesn't really
could be,
matter.
yeah, food, odor from food.
Okay. Down to, what's the worst?
Um,
Death.
yeah, death
I'm telling
is,
you
well,
now,
we
that's
deal with
it.
that a lot.
Or cats. Cats is
Yeah.
pretty
Cats
bad.
is the worst,
And
isn't
sometimes
it?
we have to remove drywall, go down to the studs, treat the studs. I mean, just
Wow.
we've kind of
Yeah.
seen it all.
We have
yeah.
different processes for
Yeah.
different things.
So,
that
you know,
we
when
have
we're
in place
talking
over
about
years.
you right now, it's more just for almost anything cleanup,
Mhm.
okay? So we want people to understand that. And by the way, a lot of us have been at home right now, and cats have been around inside your house longer or whatever you're dealing with odor-wise. They're here to help. Now, before we came on, you told me that you are statewide, okay?
Yes.
And you do free estimates for people,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you're also licensed, bonded, and insured,
that's correct.
and you're rated with the Better Business Bureau.
Mhm.
You can check them out on their website. It's AffinityBIO.com. And you, correct?
AffinityBIO AZ.
Oh, there is an AZ in there?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get that out again.
Or AffinityBIOSolutions.com.
Which is what
Either
you
one
want.
will take you there.
Okay, AffinityBIOSolutions.com is what we're gonna say out here now.
Yep.
So it's AffinityBIOSolutions.com, and you can go up there, you can check them out, you can also call them. And again, what I say about this show, this is not, maybe if something happens in your life where something, you need this. And we're talking a little bit about death there, and I wanna talk about something that we're gonna talk about in a second here. Let me get out your phone number. It's 602-361-1556. Okay, this is now the maybe not typical that we talk about, but you say you see it a lot. People pass away. A lot of people don't live here. Their parents might live here and they don't live here. And God forbid something happens, right? And they die in the house and they don't know it right away. And it's hot here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you can help with that too. I mean, I know it's a weird thing to think about, but this is a number that I think everybody should have written down, because we never know. And again, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. You can give them the information. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that can affect the whole home.
It affects everything.
Yeah, if people don't know that someone's passed away, and once you get insect activity and the odor goes throughout the home, and it just becomes a dangerous environment for the family members once they do realize that something's happened.
I know it's terrible. It can be it can be awful. But you do need somebody. You can't do that yourself. That's the other thing I want to talk about too. That is not something that you want to clean up yourself in any way, shape. You want a professional to be able to come in and do certain things. There are hoarding. You can't really just do it yourself. I mean, there's sometimes stuff underneath there that's nasty.
Yeah. A lot of times, we'll be dealing with people who may have a lot of animals in the home, just a ridiculous
I
amount
know.
of animals.
That's okay.
and
What's the most
insect
amount
activity.
of animals that you've seen in a home?
Well, Brooke and
40
I,
cats.
yeah, we,
40 cats? Oh
yeah,
my
there was
God.
40
Apartment.
cats in a 2-bedroom apartment, and
Yeah.
that was completely ruined. We had to take drywall and everything.
Wow,
And,
that's
yeah,
really, really
it was-
sad. Some people live differently than others, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it's, you know, with some folks, they just need a little bit of patience and tolerance and just, you know, a hand to help them through it.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes people, they are emotionally attached,
Mhm.
right? And that's sometimes the reason too, right?
Yeah,
Now, I want to talk about what you use to clean, because it's got, you know, you're cleaning different stuff than just regular,
Yeah.
you know, Windex here, I'm sorry, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so what do you use?
So it depends what it is that we're dealing with. So a lot of times we'll use botanically based disinfectants, you know, if we're working around areas where food might be present, things like that. Sometimes we'll use steam to disinfect. The rest of the time we'll use things that are a little heavier, so
I'm
they'll
sure.
be your sporicidal disinfectants, a lot of accelerated hydrogen peroxide.
If
that
you
kind
have,
of thing.
if you've had to do something like this for somebody who's had a house that they've had something like a death, or let's say hoarding or what have you,
Mhm.
how long does it take for them to get back in?
Well, so typically it will depend on what needs done. I mean, I know we just did a unattended death a few weeks ago. It didn't look like much on the surface, but we ended up having to take the whole floor out and everything like that. You know, luckily they did have homeowners insurance, which covered it, and it covered the replacement and everything like that. So if there's not a lot that needs to come out of there, once we've ran our ozone generator and air scrubber, they can be back within a couple of days.
Within a couple of days, that's good,
Yeah.
because you know, sometimes they don't wanna be out of their house a long time. Of course, if
Right.
somebody passes away, it's a little different situation. But there's times when you do need this, whether you have cats and you have them help with cat odor, which is the worst, right?
Yeah,
It's worse than death.
It can be. I've
Yes,
had
yeah.
one before where the lady never threw away her adult diapers for about 8 years. That was bad.
The number to call them
On
is
that note.
602-361-1556.
Yeah.
And they are statewide. They do free estimates. Their website is AffinityBIOSolutions.com. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. I am absolutely positive. We are weird. Humans are a little bit weird. We do some weird stuff, but our animals do. And unfortunately, there's things that when you're hearing something like this, if you know somebody, have them call you and talk to them and do like a consultation, because you also have to find out. It's a sticky situation in a sense, because sometimes if they are a hoarder, you want to talk to them. It's not something you just come in and go, let's get rid of it and blue, right? It's a little
Yeah, you
different,
can-
correct?
You can do a lot of damage that way.
To somebody's, you know, because they are so attached,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, let me get out with the COVID-19 right now, with what's going on. What would you suggest for people to do, number one, and which chemicals are appropriate?
Well, the EPA has the EPA List N out right now, so they can look at disinfectants that they have in the home and just look at the EPA registration number, and they can cross-reference that on there and see what the dwell times are, which is how long they should leave it.
If
on
somebody's,
the
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, but it's always important to clean first before you apply disinfectant, and just follow the labels, and, you know, you would wanna find the areas in your home that you would touch most.
Absolutely.
And, you know, start with them and just go on the
Wear your
CDC
gloves, that's
website
for
as
sure.
well, and follow the, you know.
Follow those rules.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you this before, and I should have. Are you both residential and commercial?
Yeah, we can do residential and commercial.
Right, I mean, you have to do residential, and you do that for sure, but let's say something happens in a business.
Yeah.
Sometimes people today are taking their animals to their businesses. It's not like it was in the 50s, right?
Yeah,
It's
or they,
different now.
yeah, I mean, or they could have an accident at a business or something like that.
It can
or,
happen.
um,
It can have a murder there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for God's sakes, and not even know about
Yeah,
it.
or an infection or anything like that. Someone might have a worker that, you know, say had MRSA or something and didn't know for a week, and they've been
Absolutely.
in office.
There's a
so,
lot of different reasons. That's what this show is for. this is a show where you hear this information, you write the number down. You might want to call them right now, especially if you got cats and you got smelly and that stuff in there. That's not the greatest. But also to talk to them and have a consultation with them of how they do work with people who are hoarders, or if you want to just get disinfected, you know, and you
Right.
want to make sure that they take care of that too if you want that. They are statewide. They do free estimates. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. Their phone number direct is 602-361-1556. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. What are your final words?
Well, I would just say, stay safe out there and just be cautious of some of the things. that
Here's
people
what
are
I
trying to
say.
sell and-
I'm telling you, don't say that right now. That here's what I have to say is that don't try and do some of this yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really, really important.
Yeah.
Whether it's even dealing with someone with hoarder, I don't think you realize. I don't think people realize how, cat odor can stay and be very bad. Maybe you are someone that doesn't throw away trash often, diapers and all that kind of stuff. But also maybe something has happened and you have a house that somebody that lives in there that maybe passes away. It's a sad thing to think, but a great number to call because it can happen. And you say you deal with it a lot more than people think.
Yeah, for sure.
They are both residential and commercial, mostly residential though. You can call them direct at 602-361-1556.
Nice job.
I couldn't think of what to say.